Good morning, sweethearts. How you doing? How you all doing? Big hugs and blessings. As we continue our journey through the sun, things are rapidly transforming and morphing for all, within and without. Perceptions are changing. Definitions of words are changing. Labels are changing. In some, there are no words. How you doing, Jen? Big hugs and blessings, beautiful. Right now, there is an intense energy of change in the air. We are being bathed with a tremendous amount of light-encoded filaments that will continue to increase and continue to transform and morph everything within what you can coin or label or term or define as your reality, sweethearts. Many, all actually, are finding themselves in many spaces of confusion, of I don't know what is real anymore. I don't know who I am or what I am anymore. And that is the change that is taking place, the perceptual changes that is occurring for all of humanity, especially those who have chosen to awaken right now. And that is the collapsing, converging, whatever label you need to give it, of the timelines. And with this comes, sweet ones, your relationships are going to change. Nothing, how you doing, Bri? How you doing, Jody? Big hugs and blessings. There is no thing that will stay the same. Who you are right now will not be who you are come Monday. It will not be who you are in a week. It will not be who you are in a month. And the easier and more graceful you can flow with these changes. Good morning, Corrine. Big hugs and blessings, beautiful. The more graceful this transition will be. It is the only fear there is, sweet ones. The only true fear there is the fear of loss. And the human aspect of us fears that loss because the human aspect fears change. It is the only thing that is feared within change is it takes you out of what is familiar and what is comfortable. I love you too, Nando. I love you all. Good morning, Richard, Nando, Donna. Big hugs and blessings. And as we continue to go through this morphing and this transformation, the more you can be present within yourself, the more you're going to allow yourself to embrace the changes and to embrace the fear. Good morning, Marlene. Good morning, Nikki. Big hugs and blessings, sweet ones. And we are in a great space of change and morphing and transformation. And as everything that we have worked so hard on is now coming to fruition on the physical plane of existence, that is triggering a great amount of fear within the human body, within the human vessel. Anything that was constructed has to be deconstructed, whether that is on the physical plane as far as man-made laws, man-made governments, man-made religions, or whether that is within your own personal relationships, your own personal being. And that is not always easy. It is the greatest gift you can give yourself is stepping into that which you are afraid of. And that fear and what you're afraid of is change. And That's not always easy to do to the human aspect of us. Everybody is at their own level of understanding. Everybody is at their own level of frequency. And it's really helpful to remember, sweet ones, we are conduits. We are conduits for this planet. And with that means we transform the karmic energies that she's releasing. And that is presented to each of us through our own experiences, through our own perceptions, through our own observations. There is no greater moment than this moment right now, sweethearts, to allow the differences to be set aside, to put down the spiritual swords that keep you separated in the light worker, way shower, grid keepers, gatekeeper, whatever labels you need to give us or give each other. There is no greater moment than to put the differences aside and come together and unite. There is more support given to the experiences and the hurt and the pain that everyone is experiencing than there is to allow the competition between the spiritual warriors, light workers, whatever label you want to give it. There is more separation within the spiritual communities than there is in your individual experiences. You're more compassionate and kind and accepting of others' behaviors and your own behaviors of the ways things used to be than we are of each other. And right now we're being asked to set aside our differences and to unite, to come together. It's okay that everybody has their own understandings. It's okay that everybody has their own way of doing things. It's okay that not everybody agrees with you. You don't need anyone to agree with you. What we need to do, though, is unite. We need to come together and we need to accept each other. And there is a great amount of us in light workers, light warriors, whatever label you want to give us, that continue to compete with each other, and there's no reason to compete. The perceptions are changing. That's the beauty of these energies. That's the beauty of this full moon we just went through. And as we continue to go through this week and go forward, leading us into the 1212 gateway, much change is going to present itself, and all of us are going to find that our perceptions will continue to change, leading us up into the winter solstice. And that is a great event for us. Coming into 2018, we are going to experience even a great amount of physical change. Good morning, Trevor. Good morning, Mirali, Carrie. Big hugs and blessings, sweet ones. And so the more you can release of your perceptions and allow the perceptual changes, how you doing, Jackie? Big hugs and blessings, beautiful, that are being presented, the more graceful this transition is going to be. And that is a beautiful, beautiful thing right now. The more we can allow each other to be who they are with their own understandings, the more we allow the separation between all of us to go away. I've had many that are really in a space of confusion as to who am I? I don't know who I am. I don't know how to live in this physical world anymore. Sweet ones, the physical world is a tool. The physical world is, you're not going to be comfortable in the physical world anymore because the physical world is morphing and transforming. The physical world is being changed into that which you have been manifesting. How you doing, Elizabeth? Big hugs and blessings, Angelus. All of you sweethearts. I love you guys. The physical world is being changed to match what you have been intending and what you have been manifesting within here. And it is only the human mind, that humanness aspect of us, that fears that. Your spirit knows exactly who you are. You know exactly who you are. How you doing, Bridie? Big hugs and blessings, sweetheart. And the confusion is because the outside world, the definitions, the perceptions, the labels that you have allowed yourself to be in are no more. And that is where the confusion is coming in of, I don't know who I am. I don't know how to live in this physical world. And that is why it is most necessary to stay in your heart, to really be in stillness, to really allow yourselves to hear your spirit and to stay within here. That's how you morph even quicker or more rapidly, if you will, the outside physical world. And that is where you will become more, what's the word? More flowing, if you will. I was going to say more comfortable, but you'll never become more comfortable in change. Spirit is unseen. Spirit wants you in a space of uncomfortableness and unfamiliar and unknown, because that is the only space that we follow our inner guidance. That is the only space we follow our inner knowing. And when you become complacent, when you become comfortable, when it puts you in a space of stagnation. Good morning, Carrie, Alice. How you doing, sweethearts? Big hugs and blessings. And so, right now, that is the greatest fear all of humanity is facing, is change, is the unknown. But spirit is unknown, unseen, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar to the human aspect. And the only way it becomes known, seen, heard, is within the stillness of your heart. That is where all your inner knowing comes from. And so you will continue to be shown through the outside physical world and experiences that you observe and are presented and arise for each of us, where we are still complacent, where we are still being comfortable and familiar in the beliefs that no longer are of the higher frequencies. And when you can observe, be the observer and be the observed, when you can allow yourself to be in both spaces of perception, if you will, you will see and hear that which is unseen and unheard and unknown. Excuse me. If you are in a space, sweethearts, of that absolute confusion, allow yourselves to step back and breathe. It is necessary to allow yourselves to ground. Many are finding themselves ungrounded. They're finding themselves in very emotional states. And that's okay, because it's showing you there is no wrong, there is no bad, there is no duality of that polarity anymore. We have moved into frequencies of contrast. And when you can allow yourself to move into a space of contrast and out of a space of duality polarity, you will find the emotional attachments to your experiences are more easily released. And that is the humanness within us, is the emotional attachments. And whenever there is an emotional attachment, there is conditional love. How you doing, Helena? Big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. And that is where so much of this, I don't know who I am, I don't know how to live in this physical world, is coming into play at. And when you can allow yourselves to really ground, and grounding is necessary more than ever right now, as we continue to move through the sun more and more and more into our light bodies. This is a beautiful time, even though it seems chaotic and turbulent, and no one is alone. If you're finding yourselves in those spaces, sweethearts, reach out. There are many of us that are more than willing. Good morning, Tana. How you doing, beautiful? That are more than willing to hold space and to be there for you, to hold your hands through this. And that's what we do. We are in this hand in hand, side by side together. And the more we can allow ourselves to unify in that. We're not here to do the work for each other, but we are here to hold space and to be those pillars of light and be those pillars of peace. And Snoopy, you don't need to bark. Come on now. And my puppies. You know, I got 4 of them. My sister has 2 and I have 2. And my sister's on a cruise for her anniversary, and these puppies, I tell you, they remind me of so many of us light workers. They're constantly at each other's, constantly competing with each other, and that is where so much is going to be changing right now, sweet ones. Is more and more are going to be coming into the space that our perceptions don't matter, because our perceptions are constantly in flux. They're constantly changing. And the more we can allow each other to be at the frequency and the understanding and where they're at, the more we're going to allow ourselves to unify and come together. And this is really hard for the human aspect to understand. Everybody is at their own level of perceptual awareness. And that awareness is increasing in every given breath and in every given moment. So your perception right now will not be the same tomorrow. As these activations continue to come in moment by moment, breath by breath, more and more that is dormant is being activated. More and more is coming up to be released. And that's okay. It's okay that everybody is where they're at. It's okay that everybody has their own beliefs. Because you will discover and you will find, sweet ones, that those beliefs will change. The only absolute truth there is peace. There is no competition. There is no good, bad, right, wrong, black, white, dark, light. We've left those polarity frequencies. And that is what is being released. That is what is coming up as confusion in who am I anymore. That is where so many of your relationships on the outside world are changing and morphing. And the more you resist it, the more challenging and traumatic and difficult, if you will, your experiences will be. And yourself in this space wants only peace and harmony and love and unity and truth. And so anything that is within us, in any way, shape, or form, it is going to be presented. It is coming up, whether it's through circumstances, whether it is through lack, whether it is through our relationships, or just within ourselves in our meditation. It is being presented and showing it. Right now, the lack and the struggle, karmic energies are being released out of the planet. Many are experiencing the lack in mentality energies coming up to be examined, to be observed, and to be released. I have lost everything. I have nothing. This, that, and the other. All those are showing you your own miscreations based on an energy of lack and struggle. You can only, good morning, Rhonda, Sherry, how y'all doing, sweethearts? And it's necessary to allow where you're still holding on to those energies, where you're still giving in to that victim mentality that you do not have enough, that you are not enough. And you will find again, when you can release those energetic beliefs, those energetic behavior patterns, that will change. It's not taking, the manifestation is not taking as long as it did before. And the more you can observe and allow where you're still holding these energetics within you, these energetic blockages that are being presented, you're going to find that the manifestation in the physical plane of things will come more rapidly into that which is your intentions, which you have aspired to and which you desire. When you can allow and observe and allow the feelings of, I can't survive, I physically cannot do this, I physically cannot do this. As long as you have that mentality, you're going to keep yourself in that same space. You're going to keep yourself in a space of not having enough, not being enough, and the struggle will continue. When you can allow yourselves to let go of, good morning, Danielle, thank you. Good morning, Phaedra, big hugs and blessings. When you can allow yourselves to find that space within you, if your families are going through a hard time, if you are finding yourself going through a space of lack, you need to go within and find that space within you. The only way to change the physical presentation of your life, sweethearts, is to change the energetics within you and to observe and examine your beliefs. What is coming up for you that is not in harmony? What is coming up for you that is not peaceful? What is coming up in your experiences, whether that's with your lover, with your work co-workers, with your boss, with your parents, with your children? If your children are throwing a tantrum, that is outside of you. The only way to change it is to go within you. Everything is a tool showing you something. There is always a message, sweethearts. And if your grandchildren or your children are throwing a tantrum, spanking them isn't going to change that energetic behavior pattern. But if you go within and say, okay, where is that space within me? You can go within to that space, and you will find when you shed light or love yourself on that, within 5 or 10 minutes, those grandchildren or your children, that tantrum will stop. You want to change anything in the outside physical world, you have to do it from within. And I'm going to use the children and grandchildren as another example. Say everything is peaceful, and out of the blue, a fight breaks out. I use it as these dogs are like my children, so I can use this as an example. Animals too. If your animals are experiencing distortion or fighting with each other, that's giving you the opportunity to go within and to find that space, hold space, and to shine love and light on that space, and you will find the animals will stop. The children will stop. The energetic energies in the outside physical world will change. And that is really hard for the human aspect to comprehend. The mind will never be able to wrap logic around the heart, sweet ones. Your mind has overwritten we have been in an energetic frequency bandwidth where the mind overwrote the heart. We have moved out of that, and now your heart is having to overwrite your mind. That is what your journey has been about all along. Blessings to you too, Phaedra. And so, as we continue through this upcoming gateway, which is going to lead us into the new moon on the 17th, 18th, wherever you're at on the globe, pushing us through the sun on the 21st, you're going to find who you are, who your families are. Everything will change, because everything and everyone is being returned back to the holiness and the purity of all that we are. And it is most necessary to allow yourselves to not be afraid of the morphing, to not be afraid of the change, to not be afraid of the transformations that's taking place within and without. It's okay if you lose everything. You have to lose the emotional attachments to anything that is material, and that includes your relationships. That includes your family relationships. You can offer to assist. You can offer to help. But if that offer is not taken, so once you have to be okay with that. You have to be able to honor the choices of those others and not continue to worry or be concerned of their choices that they have made. Offer your help, offer your love, offer your assistance. And if it's rejected or refused or denied, whichever label you want to give it, then be okay with that. And if they continue to struggle, continue to be in a space of their world spiraling, you have to allow that to take place. And that is hard for the human aspect of us. But as long as we continue to worry and be concerned because they are in a space of struggle or lack, and you have offered to make that easier for them. You can't change their decisions, and you cannot interfere with their free will choice. And by worrying and being concerned, that is showing you the emotional attachment to it. When we allow worry and concern to override us, to overwhelm us, we're putting ourselves back into a space of fear. And those are the spaces that we're transforming. Phaedra, right? It's not easy, but it will become okay again. Absolutely it will be. Everybody is right where they need to be for their soul's evolution and their soul's growth. And as much as our heart and as much as our true nature, our true selves, do not like to see anyone suffer, we have to honor the soul choices that they make. And that is what is taking place right now. There is so much change taking place. There is so much heartache to what seems like heartache to the human aspect of us. And when I say the human aspect, I'm talking about the ego mind programming. And we can hold space, and that is how we change the energetics for our families and for those loved ones, and for those that are on a different path or a different space of their journey. The end of the old world, absolutely. And in order for the old world to go, we have to step into that which we're afraid of. And collectively, we're afraid of change. Those of us that are on the spiritual journey, those of us that are light workers, gatekeepers, grid workers, way showers, whatever level you would like to give it, we understand. And that is how powerful we are, because we do understand. And we can change the energetics of it by holding space and allowing them their soul's growth in whatever way they need it to be, without judging it. And as these light-encoded filaments continue to bathe each and to bathe this planet, the perceptions of those emotional attachments will change. The perceptions of fear will change. The perceptions of conditional love will change. And the perceptions of people competing with you will change. The perception of others' opinions and judgments will change, whether your own or theirs. And that's the beauty of the light that is bathing this planet right now. Anything that is not of peace, unity, and harmony and truth is being presented. And that is being presented through your emotions that are being triggered. That is being presented through the circumstances and experiences that you are going through. If you're finding yourself in that space of, I can't support myself, I've lost everything, I don't know what to do, my family's not helping me, this, that, and the other, you're going to find that is an energetic blockage within yourself. There is nothing outside of you that you need, as in codependency. Need as it's everybody else's responsibility to take care of you. That it's your family's responsibility to help you. That it is the light worker's responsibility to help you. Everything that is being presented right now is showing you where you are still codependent on the outside physical world, where you are still holding codependent energies on needing another to love you outside of yourself, where there are still codependent energies on something is being done to you. And that is very prevalent right now. And it's very prevalent right now because that is what's coming up for all to be released. Remember, we're conduits. And the more we can release these karmic energies from the planet that are coming up through us, the more graceful and rapidly we change the collective energies as well. We have moved from a space of codependency, of lack of self-responsibility, if you will, to a space of interdependency. And when you can allow those essences within you to blend and to harmonize, you're going to find everything outside of you will harmonize as well. And you will discover that what was codependent has now changed. Any relationship that was built on or created or constructed in the old energetic bandwidth has to be deconstructed and reconstructed in a higher frequency. Now, many of those relationships, whether they're with your family, whether they're with lovers, so-called twin flames, whatever it may be, will fall away. And you will find when you allow change, when you allow these things to fall away, that you are allowing a new relationship, a new energetic foundation to be built upon. And that will be one of interdependency versus codependency. And that is really, for the human aspect of us, the mind, that is really hard to wrap logic around. Because to the human aspect, interdependency and codependency are the same thing, and they truly are not. Codependency means everybody else is responsible for that which goes wrong, that which is messed up, in your life. It means lack of self-responsibility. It means everybody is doing something to you, that you're being hurt by another. And interdependency means you are in unity within yourself. Interdependency means that you can stand in your own truth, your own power, your own self, fully whole and complete within, not needing another to complete outside of you, to complete you, to make you feel whole, and to have to take care of you, to have to be responsible for how you feel. Interdependency, you come into a space where you both are fully whole and complete. And when I say both, I'm talking about anybody that you interact with. Not necessarily just your family or your lover or this, that, or the third. And interdependency means you come together in harmony and work together, that you complement each other, that you support each other, and yet allow each other their own space, their own uniqueness to shine. And you blend it together when you interact, and you blend them together, and you increase an even more powerful light, a more powerful love. And so this is where so much of the confusion is coming in collectively and individually right now. You're being presented with anything that is codependent to be released and to transform it into wholeness, fullness, and completeness within yourself. So your relationships, your interactions with anything and everything and everyone outside of you becomes interdependent. In other words, nothing outside of you will control and dictate your emotions anymore. And that is a really hard thing for the human aspect, the mind, to comprehend right now, because it's not logical to the mind. It's not logical to the vessel. It's not logical to what the outside world dictates. And actually, that's really magical. And it's really beautiful. So, no, you're not lost. You're not lost to who you are. You're not lost in a sea of despair. What you're doing is you're being presented with where you have codependency, energetic still within you that need to be allowed to change, be changed, to allow to be transformed, to be morphed into something even more vast, excuse me, something more expanded, and you're allowing yourself to become more expansive. And when you can allow that, when you can allow the codependency energetics that are coming up and being presented, whether that's through your emotions, whether that's through outside experiences, within your personal relationships, especially within your personal relationships, your love relationships with your spouse, with your lover, with your hidden lovers, whatever it may, with your family, with your children, whatever it may be. You are being, everything that is coming up right now is showing you where you still have codependent issues and where you're still allowing that codependency to control you, to take your power, to define you, to restrict you, and to keep you a prisoner of your own mind. And when you can allow yourselves to flow with this change, sweet ones, you will find codependency will graduate, will expand, will broaden into the beauty and the magic of interdependency rather than codependency. And that is the beauty and the power of your true self. Your true self is not codependent on anything or anyone. At least, I love you guys. You guys are just awesome. Big, big hugs and blessings, sweet ones. And so really allow yourself, instead to run from that which is occurring, that which is projecting, that which is competing, that which is seemingly trying to knock you down, that which is seemingly keeping you in a space of lack or struggle. Really allow yourselves to be present with it. You are not lost. You are being found. And the only thing you fear and are afraid of is change. And that is why you feel the confusion. You're not lost. You know exactly who you are. Your cosmic hearts are leading right now, sweet ones. And anything that is not of that cosmic, the frequency of your love, your true love within, is just showing you so you can change it and transform it and step into it and step through it. Because all fear is a veil. And when you step through it, you set yourself free. So allow the change, sweet ones. That's the only thing you fear is the change. And there's nothing to be afraid of. I love you all. Have a great day. And if you need, reach out. There's all of us out there. We're all here for you. We're in this hand in hand together. And when we come into that understanding that we are, regardless of the competition, regardless of the right and wrong, regardless of the black and white, regardless of the light and dark, you come to understand the only thing there truly is peace. The only thing there truly is love. And all else is just showing you where you need to allow change to take place. So have a great day, sweet ones. And know energies are going to be intense these next couple of days. But it's setting you free. I love you. Have a great day. Big, big, big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. Bye-bye now. I love you guys too, yeah. Bye-bye, guys.